Hello, awesome people. Welcome back to Paasolocreates Creation video tutorial. My name is Opoku A, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to design this in Adobe Photoshop. So we are going to look at how to design a fashion flyer in Adobe Photoshop, okay? And this one too, okay? So we are going to do two designs, okay, with the same name, but we are going to do two flyers so that the client can choose from. All right? So without further ado, please let's get into this. But before then, please, I will be happy, or our team will be happy, if you guys can like the video and also comment below what you want to see next on this channel. And also, please, if it is your first time you come across this channel, welcome, and please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and not just subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so that anytime we upload a new video, you are going to be the first person to get notified and watch and apply that. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into it. So first of all, we are going to create the document. So I'll click on Ctrl N. That is the shortcut for creating a new document. And then under print, I'm going to select A4. Okay, so I will select A4 from here and I'll click on create. So a new canvas is going to open for me as always. Then we are going to do this one first. Afterwards, we are going to look at this one also. So to start with the help of my rectangle tool over here, I will select that, and then I will click and drag to fill the whole canvas. Okay, then for me, I'll go to FX, and then I'm going to apply a gradient overlay. So I'll go here and select gradient overlay, and boom, the last gradient that you applied in Photoshop is going to appear. So we are going to change this gradient. Make sure you have opacity 100%, and I'll click on here, okay, to open the gradient editor. Then I have this nice gradient that I want to use. So here is it. And for you to follow along with me, I'm going to open this gradient. So you see the color code and also apply the same thing. So here is the first color code. This is the second color code as well. Then from here, click on OK. And if you want to save it and use it like I have saved many here, just click on this. And if you want to save your gradient like I have done here and use it in the future, make sure you click on the new over here to save it. Okay, then click on OK. And you can also use the same setting that I have here to get the same thing. I'll click on OK. All right, so initially this is going to be my background, so I can create a group by clicking on Ctrl G and rename this one as my background. Then I can lock the background so I can work freely with it. Okay, so to start with, I'll start with the name of the company. Okay, so with the help of my text tool over here, I'm going to type in the name of the company. All right, so this is the name of the company, and I will select that. Okay, so select that, and I'm going to change the font. I will be using this type of font. All right, so this is the font that I would like to work with. So if you want to download this, you can search this one on Google, so you can download and follow along with me. So let me zoom in, and then I'm going to make this one a little big. Okay, and also I'm going to align this one to the center. So I'll open paragraph and align to center. And then also I want this one to also be big, so I'll select only that and increase the size from here. By the way, if you don't have this character panel, go to window and make sure you have character check. So I'll increase the size until I see that it's almost above or is bigger than the first one. Okay, so something like 50 is okay. Then I'll click on this mark to accept changes, and I can place it over here. Okay, then also I'll make a duplicate of this one. So I'll hold down Alt, click and drag to make a duplicate, and then I'm going to replace this one with the last name of the company. All right, so with that, I'm going to make it small, and I'm going to place this one here. Okay, so the reason why I didn't add it to this one is that I'm going to apply a different color on this one. Okay, so to apply that one, I'll go to FX and I'll select gradient overlay, and with the gradient overlay, we are going to apply something like this. And as always, remember that Photoshop is going to remember the last gradient that you used and apply it, so you can also change it. So this is the gradient that I'm going to use. Okay, so no, this one. So I'm going to use this type of gradient. Let me open the first top. So you see the color code, and the second one is going to be completely white. Okay, and if you guys want to save it, you already know how to do. Just click on this new to save it. Okay, and also you can push this one in or just leave it if you are satisfied with it. And the last thing that we are going to do is to add a drop shadow. Okay, so this is the drop shadow. So when you click on it, this is what you are going to get. You can reduce the opacity so you have a little feel of it, and you can reduce the size and also reduce the distance. Just choose figures or fine tune in to find a better result for your own. Control O to fit everything to screen. I would like to select everything and I will scale it up a bit. Okay, so let me bring this one a bit also down. So I think this one is okay. The next thing that I'm going to add is to use my rectangle tool to draw a shape. Okay, and with my shape I don't want any fill like this, so I will select the fill and I'll select none, but I want stroke, so a stroke of 15 pixels is okay. All right, so then I'll select my move tool, or let me go back to the rectangular marquee tool. I would like to remove this place and this place, so I'll make a selection. Okay, then I'll hold the shift key on my keyboard, click and make a selection over here. So I'm going to cut this place off. So to do that, I'll hold down alt key and then I'm going to add the layer mask. So I'm going to add a layer mask. So I want to add or apply a negative layer mask. So hold down alt key, click to apply a negative layer mask, and boom, this is what you are going to get at the end of the day. Then the last thing that I'm going to do is to click and drag this. Okay, so make a duplicate, and then let me reduce the size of this one, and I can change and enter the contact of the company there. Okay, by the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to put this PSD file as part of more than 150 PSD file that I'm selling on my digital store. Okay, so we are going to have access to this PSD file for over 1 year. Okay, and also any design that I'll be doing, I'll be adding. So at the end of the day, it's going to be more than 300 or even 500 PSD files that you can work with. So if you also want to check that, make sure you click on the first link that you will see under the description. Okay, so you have access to this PSD file. So to make this one visible, I'm going to bring dash here and also bring a space here. And if you want to also WhatsApp me to make inquiries, like I have a one-on-one training and I have a lot of things going on. So if you want to contact me, you can use this contact over here. This is my own WhatsApp line, so you can contact me and we can talk business over here. All right, so with this one, you can see that is the same thing that we are trying to do. So the next thing is to add this logo. So the core logo, I'll just click and drag this one over there. And if it is not white, you just fill it with white and position it as that, as simple as ABC. And the last thing is that I'm going to draw the shapes. Okay, so this is very easy to do. So I'm going to draw the shapes so that I can include those things. So with the help of my rectangle tool, I'll click and drag to draw the first shape, just like this one. Okay, I'll click on the move tool. Okay, then I'm also going to draw the other shapes. Okay, but normally I want the shapes to be of equal size. So when I draw one, I make a duplicate of that, hold down the shift key so it be in proportion. Then let me reduce the size of this one. Okay, because that was how it is at the first. So this is it. Let me add a bit up here, and I can bring this one also a bit. Okay, then I'll also make a duplicate. So to make the duplicate, I'm holding down the alt key and clicking and dragging. Hold down the shift key also to keep it in proportion. Then if you feel like the space here and the space here is too much, you can select all and open it up a bit. Okay, but I think it is okay. And you can also use your arrow keys on the keyboard to move it up and down. Then also I think this one was not up to that place, so let me do justice to it. Okay, from here you can just select the shape and you can go to where you have your images. So I have this image that I would like to add. I will just click and drag this one. Then I'll reduce the size so it fits to the shape. click on enter to accept changes. Then you can click on Ctrl Alt plus G to create a clipping mask, or you can right click on the layer. Okay, so right click and you create a clipping mask. By the way, make sure that layer or the image layer is on top of the shape. Okay, so you'll be able to clip it on that shape. Okay, so I'll do the same thing to the other images and I'll come back quickly. Alright, so from here, with the help of my rectangle tool, I'm going to draw a line, to divide the items and the details that I'm going to add at the bottom. And I'll make sure that this one is filled with white. And I'll also make sure that this one is with no stroke, okay? So this is what I'm going to have at the end of the day. Alright, so from here you can add the details like the location, email address, and even the items the person sells. Alright, so if you add the details like the location and the email and also the items the person sells, this is what you are going to get, okay? So you can place it in position, Ctrl O to fit everything to screen. So this is how you can design a fashion flyer in Adobe Photoshop. So let's look at the second one, okay? So the second one is also going to be the same idea. So to start with, we can click on Ctrl plus N to create a new document. I'll select A4, click on create. Then with this one, with the help of my rectangle tool, I'm going to draw a shape to fill the background, okay? Then with this one, I'm going to use this vivid blue. So this is the color code that I'm going to use. And I'll click on okay. And also make sure you fill every place. Then I'll go to my source files. I have this that I would like to add, so I'll click and drag this one into Photoshop, okay? And from here, I'm going to make this one very big, so I'll click and drag to make this very big and move this one also a bit up. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fill this one with the whole canvas. Then I'm going to change the blending mode of this layer to multiply, okay? So initially, this is what is going to be for my background. Select both of them, Ctrl plus G to group. Then I can name this one as my background. Okay, I can also click on lock, and when I go here, I can select this one. So let me click and select everything here. Okay, so let me give it another go. So boom, perfect. You can see what we have here. Then you see that the first one, we changed the color of this one a bit. So let me show you how to change that. So I'll open the gradient overlay effect. So I'll double click on that gradient overlay, and Photoshop is going to open the gradient layer style for me. Then I'll open the gradient editor, and also I have this guy here that I use for that. Okay, you see, wow, this is so lovely. So if you want to copy the same color code, so here is it. So this is for the first one. Okay, so you can copy this one and you can be pasting. So this one is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can do the same thing, and then this is the second color code as well. Okay, so this one is the same thing that I created this one to add there. To create or to add a new stop, just click and you see you can add a new stop. Okay, then when you are okay with it, click on okay. Next, I'll select this one and I'm going to change the color of this one. So I'll just sample a color from here and I'll click on okay. So next, I'm going to also add these details. You see that this one, the style was a bit different from this one. Okay, so with this one too, with the help of the rectangle tool, you can click and drag any shape that you want to draw. So this is the shape that I want to draw, and I can move this guy a bit here. Then you can make a duplicate as always, then create another one as well. You can select all of the three and align this one so that the intervals or the spacing between them becomes equal. And we can also reduce the size of the three so all the sizes also become equal as well. Then from here I'm going to reduce this one all the way up and make a duplicate. Okay, so let me select these guys and align this one to the down, and let me reduce the size of this one so I can move this one down, select all and align to the top. Okay, so everything is going to be in perfect just like this. Then what we can do next is to also select these guys here and move that here. And if you want to move it in place, you can just click on the shift key so it enter the place that you want to. And you want it to not be at anywhere, but you want it to be at where exactly the first one was, especially if you are using the same size. What you can do is that you can, let me undo this one, you can click and move, and when you are about to release your mouse, you hold down the shift key and it is going to paste where the first one is, if the size are the same. In this case, the first one is A4 and the second one of this one is also A4. And you can change the color of this one. Okay, so I'll just double click on the color overlay and I'm going to change the color to white. Okay, so this is pretty simple. Just click here and select white, click on OK, click on OK, and also hold down Alt key, click and drag the effect onto the email thing. And the last one is to select everything. I'm going to reduce the size of the shape because I want to add the items the person sells over there. So I'll select this. Control O to fit everything to screen. So this is it. Okay, so from here you can add the other details like we did for the first one. Okay, so let me do that quickly and I'll come back. All right, so from here, if you have been able to do this one, then boom, you are almost done. So the last thing that I'm going to do is to make a copy of this one. So right click and copy the layer style, and I'm going to paste. So right click and also paste the layer style on this one. So I'm going to do the same thing here, but I think this one is cool, so let me leave it as it is. So this is how you can design a fashion flyer in Photoshop. Please make sure you get this PSD file for my digital store. Join me and get over 150 plus PSD files containing church flyers, event flyers, birthday flyers, a lot that you can think of. Okay, so without further ado, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and also leave me a comment below. Until next time, peace, keep creating, never give up.